Hadi bakalım. Takipçiler gelsin. I'm waiting for the followers. Onur geldi. Hoş geldiniz hepiniz. Welcome everybody. Welcome everyone. Yes. So today we have a very special guest for our live session in KM Events, Turkey, Dubai. Before announcing her, I will be waiting for some more followers to come. I will be accepting my guests in few minutes. Evet, sevgili takipçilerimizi bekliyoruz. Gelsinler. Bugün çok önemli bir konuğum var. İngiltere'den Sarah Haywood ile beraber olacağız. Sarah Haywood benim dünyada çok ünlü bir meslektaşım. Aynı zamanda çok da sevdiğim bir dostum. Kendisi ile bugün Covid-19 dediğimiz, yani Covid-19 sonrası bizi neler bekliyor? Bunu konuşacağız. Dünyaca ünlü bir düğün eksperi kendisi. Ve ne mutlu bize ki bizle beraber canlı yayını kabul etti, aramıza katılmayı. Sarah Haywood, so we will be hosting Sarah Haywood, one of the most influential wedding experts in the world's global event industry. She is a very good friend of mine, and I'm so happy that she will be with us today in our live session, and we will be discussing what and how the weddings and events are going to look like at post-COVID-19. Bugün önemli bir konuğumuzu birazdan kabul ediyorum. Birazcık daha takipçi bekliyorum ama bağlanalım mı acaba?
Bence de
Bağlanalım artık.
Tamam.
So let's connect to London, to Sarah Haywood. Hi Monica. Monica is with us as well. Accepted her. So she will be with us in few minutes. Thank you for everybody. Oh, Sarah,
hello.
how are you?
Hopefully my followers will see us now, and we'll get a few more on. We'll see.
So how are you? How is everything in London?
Well, these are challenging times, aren't they? I'm going to switch you up. Bear with me.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, these are challenging times for all of us, aren't they? They really are. And what can I say? There is no magic wand. There's no crystal ball.
Yeah.
Whether we're planning weddings for other people or planning them for ourselves, we are in this really unprecedented situation. And it's challenging for everyone.
Yes. All the world is waiting at home. So did the spring arrive to London?
We have been so incredibly fortunate that since lockdown began, pretty much until today, we've had amazing weather. It's been like summer. So that has assisted us. It's kept our spirits higher.
It's the same. So we have a great weather here in Istanbul, but unfortunately we are locked down for 4 days, starting from 3 days, Friday. So tomorrow will be our last free day.
Okay.
We will be locked down till Sunday, but then on Monday we are free back again.
Well, I've been in self-isolation with my husband because he's deemed vulnerable. Goodness only knows why. So we've literally not seen anyone for 6 weeks. Somebody delivers our food, and we go out for walks and bicycle rides, but we're feeling pretty lonely. So I love these lives because I get to see people and talk to them.
It's the same. You know, we are always running from one place to the other in our job. So this is a special time. I mean, you know, we have to enjoy this time as well. Actually, it's really hard, difficult for us to stay. But also I'm trying to enjoy because I cannot find any time to stay at home, you know.
Yes.
The same for you too.
Crisis makes opportunity.
Yes. So I have a lot of questions to you because you're
Okay.
the most influential wedding
I don't know
event
who said that, but I'll
in
take
the
it.
global event industry. I announced you before you joined us. I would like to learn, our industry has been affected. I mean, one of the most affected industries in the world. So when is the timing to start to proceed with weddings and events? How do you see in your crystal ball?
In my crystal ball, I've got to be honest, I can't see, even if we're allowed to have small weddings, will people want to attend them? Will elderly people want to take the risk? I mean, all this investment we've all put in staying at home to keep ourselves safe and keep ourselves healthy, will anyone want to jeopardize it? And will couples want to jeopardize the health of elderly relatives? And I always say, weddings are occasions which are about family. We're affirming the very concept of family. So we won't want to do it without the key members of our families there. So we have advised all our clients to postpone to next year. And now I'm just worried, will they be able to happen next year? Because some people are saying, well, they don't want to travel, and we do a lot of destinations. People don't want to travel until they know there's a vaccine. So I don't like to be a pessimist. I like to be realistic. And I like to not take gambles that are too big. And so I feel it's safer to move most weddings, because we work in destination, move most of them to next year. I think it might be different if you're planning a wedding local to where you live and most of your family and friends are close by and you have a sense of what's happening in your community and in your district, then you can take a really good decision, an informed decision on whether it's safe for it to go ahead. But the destination wedding market is not looking healthy.
I think first the small and local weddings will start.
Yes.
And then slowly we will start doing in 1.5 years, maybe small groups with destination weddings. Then it will. This is also, I think so. Somebody says he's my friend Can Tekin Temizer. He's a good friend from event industry of Turkey, and he says, what about virtual weddings? What do you think about virtual weddings?
I don't think very much about virtual weddings. I try not to think about them. I think it would be very, very sad if long term, I mean, they're a short-term solution, but long term, I think there's nothing more wonderful than a live celebration. And I would say that I'm in the business of it, but marriage in some form or another is something we as a species have celebrated all over the world since the very beginning of recorded time. We've always done it, this thing that that in the modern world we call marriage. It's been celebrated in some way, and there's a reason for that. And there's a reason why people like gathering. There is a reason why it's important to celebrate, and why it's important to celebrate with the people that you love. So weddings aren't just about the show and the design and how fantastic it is. They're also about the meaning behind it. And I don't know that I would want to try and replicate that digitally. I do think it's opened the door to the idea that if a guest can't attend or a key family member can't attend, there is now a way to include them in the celebration. So that's a positive that's come out of this. Nobody's going to mind the screen on the wall or the phone. It doesn't even need to be a screen. Look, it can be a phone like this. The tripod with the phone connecting the grandparent or somebody who lives overseas. I think we'll see more of this. I do think we'll see more of this.
Me too, because this is a very special occasion. Weddings have been in our lives since the ancient times, It's a tradition. Nobody can, give up the traditions. That's what I think, It's not a meeting, it's not a conference,
Yes.
And the girls, the brides, they have to show their wedding dresses, and mothers, it's a kind of a show.
It's an important ritual. It's a ritual. It's a rite of passage. It's many, many things. And that would not be replicated if it was just digital.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. Let me just translate for our followers who
Okay.
cannot follow
I'll
English.
have a
A
drink.
few words in Turkish. Evet, Sarah Haywood çok önemli bir isim düğün endüstrisinde. Kendisiyle hemen sorulara geçtik. Bir kere öncelikle düğünler nasıl başlayacak diye konuşuyoruz. Düğünler yavaş yavaş başlayacak. Kendisi ağırlıklı destinasyon düğünleri yapıyor ve destinasyon düğünleri 2021'e erteledim ben hepsini diyor. Bu riski almaya değmez diyor. Çünkü ağırlıklı destinasyon düğünü kendi ülkenizin dışında olan düğün demek. Ama diyor peki dijital virtual yani görüntülü düğünler olacak mı diye bir soru geldi. Dedi ki inşallah öyle bir şey olmaz. Çünkü bu düğünün kendi özüne aykırı bir şey. Ama mesela artık bir düğüne katılamayan aile yakını varsa onu online olarak düğüne getirmemiz mümkün olabilecek diyor ki bence bu da bu olayın güzel bir yanı olacak. So, what will be the new normal after, will pass?
Who knows? What will be the new normal? I think people will want to celebrate, but I hope the focus will be much more on the experience than the look and feel of an event. I hope that because we face challenges in terms of consumables, so food and flowers, these things, especially the flowers, not being so prescriptive, but having more of a color scheme and telling your designer, go out and get the best value that you can within this color scheme. These are the things I like. These are the things that I don't like. This is an idea of what I want. I think that would be helpful. And we know the flower crop this year is in severe trouble and isn't getting out to market. So we don't know what the knock-on effect on that will be in terms of availability and price. I think anyway, the new generation, they think differently. They want to leave the planet better than they found it. And they care about sustainability. And people like you and me, unless we address this, we're going to be irrelevant in less than a decade. And we're going to have to think of ways. And this is a wonderful opportunity while we're quiet to be thinking about these things. And I think many, many people would be shocked if they saw the amount of waste one wedding produces, waste that goes into landfill. It's shocking, it's unacceptable, and at last we have an opportunity to think about how we're going to address it as an industry and have no excuses for not doing so. So that's kind of, I think, a positive that could come out of this.
Yeah.
And as I say, there's no excuses for us not to be thinking about it.
I think social distance will be one of our new normals. Maybe we won't be able to go and kiss.
And do you think that will last when it's still safe?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure. I cannot guess.
I think it might. There's a very famous brothers in London who own the Ritz Hotel, the Barclay brothers.
Yeah.
And one of the Mr. Barclays doesn't shake people's hands. He never has. He has always said, oh, that's how, and he says he's not had a cold. I think he says since he was in his 30s. And I've always thought that was quite eccentric. Now I'm thinking, yeah, let's not shake hands. Let's not be kissing each other all the time. Maybe we'll have less seasonal flu, less colds. And so I think we're all thinking about how these things are transmitted. And I wonder if it will change our social interaction to the degree that we won't even want to physically touch one another.
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
Yeah, somebody is asking, so is it 1.5 years for the destination weddings? I don't want to say yes.
I hope not.
1.5 years. No.
I really hope not. I'm talking to you now from my country home, which is close to Oxford.
Yeah.
And in Oxford, there's a company developing a vaccine that they're very, very hopeful about. They say they're 80% certain it will work. Oh, it's being tested now. I mean, it would obviously take up to 12 months to roll out on any big scale, and they're not the only company working on it. So, and then there's the I mean, we're all learning new expressions. The one we all learned here was herd immunity,
Yeah.
when a significant sector of the population has had a virus, and therefore we all start to become immune. There is that, that will happen. I don't know. I'd like to say, well, I'm planning from next March.
Yeah. You're planning for
and I'm not confident about March, so I'm gonna have a plan. And I'm looking at how we work with our suppliers on contracts. Yes. We're implementing a special COVID-19 or pandemic contract clause that allows a little bit more flexibility on deadlines for decisions and deadlines for payments. And that flexibility is on both sides. I've been learning more about contract law in the last month than ever.
Yes.
And I've learned one thing that stood out for me. It doesn't matter what a contract says. If you want to implement it, it needs to be fair.
Yeah.
So many companies, not just in our sector, or in any sector, have been falling back on their contracts, but their contracts weren't designed for this, and they still have to be fair.
Yeah.
So that gives us a great degree of flexibility as an industry to work together, to solve problems, to come up with solutions to a problem that none of us created.
Yes, the contracts have been a very important issue in Turkey as well, because in none of the contracts we were focusing on pandemic,
Yeah.
We have been focusing on terrorist attacks, things like that, bombings, but not pandemic. So this is a new situation. We have to add to the contracts, I think. But everybody is on the same boat, as you say. I had a very good question from Bibi Hayat. She was asking about dance floors.
Yeah.
What about the dance floors?
What with social contact? Yeah. Maybe we'll have to invent something that both ends can touch so that we can dance.
Yeah, she says, what about the scent, the hugs, the music, the sounds, dancing with each other, a packed dance floor, the cry?
You can't do that digitally. And you can't do that whilst maintaining distance. So at some point we have to celebrate again. I mean, we do. We just have to. And it has to be in person.
Yeah. And somebody says, I don't think it will be the new normal. The social distancing will go away as the virus changes the shape. I don't understand why people are talking about as if it will last forever. I hope so. I love to kiss. I love to embrace.
Yeah.
My friends, my family.
Yes. I mean, let's hope so. And, there have been other pandemics.
Yeah.
This isn't the first one. It's just the first one for most of us in living memory. So we have recovered from very serious pandemics before.
Yeah.
So I think the Spanish flu was the last one.
Yes.
And people, and it was barely talked about, 50 years later, barely talked about. So, we will recover. It's just hard to imagine it while we're all sitting in lockdown.
Yes.
And while there are literally people dying right now in hospital, people dying alone. And, for most families who are affected, wherever they are in the world, who are affected by this, they must think we've lost our minds having discussions about when we can have weddings again.
Yeah.
And so in some ways we're quite lucky if we are, able to focus on this, because it means we're keeping going.
Yeah. We are very lucky that we are doing this business. I was thinking about this because, weddings, there have been bombings in Turkey, earthquakes in Turkey, and weddings still. Each year I had a lot of weddings, Everybody does weddings. Nobody gives up from doing weddings. So this will pass and go away, and we will be doing a lot of weddings with beautiful people again.
I hope so.
There are many questions to you. I'm looking. What month, year would you say that wedding venues should be aiming for you be able to host weddings without restrictions?
Oh my goodness. It's going to, it's no one knows. And it's also going to vary by country. I mean, in New Zealand, where they've nearly eradicated the virus, they'll be able to have weddings very soon this summer. Well done them. Here in England, we've been warned that social distancing measures might be forced, as in, and they've called it large gatherings. I don't know what they mean by a large gathering. Is that 20 people, 50 people, a football match? I don't know. They're saying that they may have to have those measures in place until there's a vaccine. Well, that would mean we couldn't plan any weddings till next year. So it's so hard to say. And I think everybody needs to hope for the best and plan for the worst. Because if you have a good plan, you can move it. But if you sit in the confusion and don't have a plan, it's difficult for people to work with you to find the quick solution when we know what everything is going to look like.
Yeah.
And I think it would be helpful if the different governments could give some kind of indication of their plans so that venues can tell their clients. Because the big issue now, certainly here, is a venue's insurance won't cover them unless they're prohibited from hosting the event. So they're not going to cancel your event until it's a government directive.
Yes.
So right now we're only told our lockdown is going to be reviewed, I think, in 2 weeks. Well, actually it might even be next week, but what about next month?
Yeah.
So there's this paralysis in planning has occurred. And in fact, if I got it handy, here in the UK, we have a daily briefing from the government. And from this week, they have allowed us as the public to ask questions. So today I filed a question on behalf of the wedding industry in the hope that it will be answered. Basically saying, give us some guidance, just a rough idea, because we know you don't have a crystal ball, because the emotional distress and financial implications are huge, not just for us who work, but also for couples who are planning. And it affects hundreds of thousands of people. So please assist us by giving information that you do have. We know you don't have all the answers, but give us more.
Yes, you know, yesterday we had a meeting with the tourism industry, the experts in the tourism industry, and you know the hotels. They are working on new conditions, no event conditions. Yes, for instance, they are working on. The whole world, you know, all the hotels, the CEOs of the chain hotels, they are working on new conditions starting from food service, hygiene, and you know, welcoming. Every detail they are working, and they will be announcing this, I think, in the mid of May or end of May. So there will be new regulations with the hotels, the venues, and we will, you know, with these regulations, we will be doing many kind of weddings again.
Yes.
So we are, as Turkish industry, we are waiting for the new regulations in the hotels. You know, there's Kempinski, Four Seasons, and you know, many Hilton, Conrad. So we are waiting for the new regulations. So there will be new seating plans, I guess. Maybe we won't be able to make people sit, right?
But you know, somebody's just posted Imaginarium cinematography. They said, surely events will not take place until there's a vaccine. How can you have socially distanced weddings? And like you say, like, yes, you could have one, but would you want to? Would you want to be sitting a meter or 2 meters apart from the person next to you having dinner?
Yes.
Would you want to dance 2 meters away from everybody else? Would you want your photo and video, you know, with everyone spaced out like we see on the television at the moment? Like that, the heart of what we're doing at a celebration is lost.
Yes.
So yes, we could do it, but will we want to? I can imagine perhaps for conferences, no problem.
Yeah.
But or staying in a hotel and eating in the restaurant. But for a wedding, for a birthday party, is that what you want to do?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't anyway. That's not what I want to do. And that's not the kind of event I want to host.
Yes, yes, yes. That's true, you know. A wedding is a business or is an occasion that has a soul inside, you know. So we cannot, you know, we cannot disturb that soul of the event. It's a soul. Many questions are coming to you, Sarah.
Yeah. And
So
I'd love to pick up on what I just said, which is some people just want to get married.
yeah,
And I have two clients who don't want to postpone to 2021. So they're just going to go and get married when they can, and maybe we'll have a party because the ladies want to have babies.
yeah,
So, you know, there are all kinds of reasons why somebody might want to actually just do it. And this is a peculiar time. So there will be people who will do this social distancing, who will do digital weddings, and good for them, because actually, if the marriage part is what you want to do, get on and do it, and you celebrate your way if that works for you. But
yeah,
long term, those aren't the kind of events people are going to want to attend as guests when the novelty has worn
yeah.
off.
Yes, you're right.
That's
So
just my humble opinion.
yeah. So let me translate in Turkish in few words.
Okay.
Şimdi bu oteller, yani düğünleri bundan sonra nasıl yapacağız diye konuşuyoruz. Diyor ki Sara, yani tamam diyor, oteller belli kurallar getirecekler. Belki 10 kişi 10 kişilik masada 10 kişi oturtmayacağız ama insanlar birbirinden bir kere düğünlerde 1,5 metre mesafeyle oturmak isteyecekler mi? Bir kere düğünün bir ruhu var diyor. Haklı. Bence diyor bu regulation'lar düğünler için nasıl olacak bilmiyorum ama ben çok ümitliyim. Hatta benim oturduğum Oxford bölgesinde oturuyor Londra'nın. Burada çok önemli bir laboratuvar var ve burada zaten çok yakında piyasaya bir aşı çıkacak diyor. Yani bu böyle kalmayacak. Ben çok diyor şeyim, yani bu konuda pozitif düşünüyorum diyor. There is another question. Given the situation, do you think venues need to be more reasonable about rearranging wedding date to next year without charging extra, as some have been doing this?
Okay. There is no one answer. Every business needs liquidity. It needs cash.
Yes.
And some businesses have more reserves. Some businesses have a different model. Some venues, their only revenue is events. Others will be hotels where they have other revenue streams. So there's not one solution that will work for everyone. And there are costs implicated in holding a date for somebody, because you're running the business at the same time. So everybody who pays into that business, it's not just for their one day, it's for the whole service that they're offering all the time. Now, the important thing, I think, is that it's fair. And imposing a ridiculous penalty or not offering a good solution and a selection of solutions is, to me, when it becomes unfair. But it's unrealistic, I think, to expect only wedding suppliers and venues to come out of this unscathed. It's not our fault. It's not the venue's fault, and it's not the couple's fault.
Yeah.
And if you have invested in your suppliers thus far, you've chosen them because you want to work with them or you want to host your wedding at these venues or these hotels. You've paid your deposits in good faith. They've been taken in good faith. But they weren't taken knowing this would happen. And you need those businesses to be in business when your wedding happens. Now, if they go out of business, you will lose everything.
Yes.
So there's a fine balance there. And the good news is that many wedding businesses are very small businesses who know what their plan is. They will know exactly how much revenue they need to generate, what kind of hit they can withstand. And those businesses you can talk to on a case-by-case basis. But if your wedding is on a Saturday or a weekend, a Friday or a Saturday in peak season, and it's not available next year, it's not. There's nothing they can do for you. They can offer you an alternative. So being expected to be offered like for like, or expecting an unrealistic hit to be taken by the venue is just not realistic. And it's incredibly unfair, but it's unfair to everybody in the chain. My company, I think we will lose a whole year's revenue. A whole year's. I can only survive because I've been doing it a long time and I've invested cash in the business. I've left it there for a rainy day. And I'm lucky, so lucky to have been able to do that. but it's still my money. It still means I'm going to have to work many more years in the future because that's my retirement fund. Now, no one should feel sorry for me, but no, I too am taking a hit, a big hit. And many of us, we could just run with the money now, but we're not, because it's not who we are. It's not the legacy we want to leave. We care about our couples. We care about our clients. We care about the people that we work with, and we care for the people who work for us. And we will absorb as much of the hit that we can. But please don't judge those people who can't withstand the hit.
Yeah.
And you chose them for a good reason.
Yes, very good, very
and
good.
You know what? The budget can be cut. A budget can always be slashed. And if you're not marrying till next year, maybe you can put more money into the pot.
Yes.
Think of imaginative ways to have what you need. And you know, this time that we're all living in, we know who our friends are.
Yes.
And you know who you want your friends to be. So you could cut your guest list and save some money, because you know, every guest, you've got to feed them and water them, put flowers in front of them. Every guest has a cost associated with them. So if somebody isn't important to you after all of this, no judgment. They don't have to come to your wedding. Cut some costs that way.
Yes, you're right. There are many, many comments, beautiful comments. Arabia Wedding says we are on the same boat.
Hello, Arabia Weddings. We had dinner together, didn't we? Well, all of us recently. I remember
it was my last beautiful dinner. After
it
that,
was.
It was.
And it was only about 6-7 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We all met in Dubai. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, we attended a conference in Dubai and we had dinner together.
Yeah. And somebody says, do you think offering a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Sunday in the month that they originally booked but 2021 to swap in FOC is fair? Because some couples are upset that we cannot offer them a Saturday.
But if you can't offer them a Saturday because you don't have one left, you can't offer them a Saturday. You know, there are only 52 weeks in the year. If there isn't one available, so then the couple have to decide, oh, if a Saturday was really important, you know, maybe they want to go somewhere else and that venue needs to release them from the contract and just keep what they think is fair rather than imposing a huge penalty. But again, it has to be done on an individual basis. But I think our guests will all be more flexible. Guests are disappointed for couples as well. They know you wanted to get married. Yeah. So they will be flexible. It's no big deal to take a day off work.
Yeah. That's true.
Especially now.
Let me translate in few words in Turkish. Şu anda kontratlarda şu sorunları çok yaşıyor düğün planlamacıları. İşte geri ödemeler, özellikle otellerin geri ödemeleri. Bazı oteller, Türkiye'deki oteller ayına göre geri ödediler. O bilgiyi vereyim. Ama bazı oteller orada geri ödeme yapmamışlar, ama bu diyor bir cash flow'la ilgili, yani para akışıyla ilgili bir şey. Burada diyor mekanları suçlayamazsınız, ama hani onların size göstereceği alternatif tarihlerle ilerleyebilirsiniz ve çalıştığınız mekana ve planlamacılara güvenmeniz gerekiyor diyor. I have many questions, you know, reading their questions I cannot ask.
I'm answering some by texting.
So what will be the trend after, you know, will we have a different trend at post-COVID-19 about weddings and luxury events?
Ooh. Will we have a trend? Sorry, my tripod's falling down here. I've got the phone on a tripod. It's going like this. What will be the trend? Gosh. As I said earlier, I think people are going to care less about the look and more about the experience. That was already a trend. But at the heart of all this is going to be friends and family.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be about. And that's what it should be about.
Yeah.
People will still have beautiful weddings. And those of us working in the uber luxury sector, am I not confident? I'm not entirely confident that couples will want to have these sort of big displays of wealth that we've been enjoying. They may feel that people feel it distasteful. They've also lost 25%, 30% of their wealth. But I said that after the financial crisis, and actually the wealthy still spent. So in the news coming out of China is that luxury goods are recovering much faster than the rest of the economy. So who knows? But I hope it means that we're all planning and attending celebrations with a lot more heart.
Yeah. That's true. In few words in Turkish, trendler değişecek mi dedim. Dedi ki artık görüntüden çok deneyime odaklanacağız biz artık düğünlerde. Zaten aslında öyle olmaya başlamıştı diyor. Görüntü gene çok güzel düğünler yapacağız ama artık ilk odak noktamız görüntüden çok deneyimlemek, samimiyet, daha doğal olmak olacak. Trend bu yöne doğru kayacak diyor. So it's great wedding industry is being flexible. Airlines, however, are not yet, which poses a problem to postpone to next year when there is no guarantee guests can get refund on flights.
That is a really good point, which I just posted. That is a really, really good point. But governments are propping up the airline industries. They have to, because the moment British Airways isn't propped up by the UK government, I don't know, American Airlines takes their space. So governments have some kind of reason to keep these airlines going, and when there's flights in the air they want us to get on them. So that's the positive answer, but the reality is until there's a vaccine, will people want to travel? I don't want to travel. I don't want to travel anywhere except in my car. I don't want to go on a bus. I don't want to go on a train. Oh, my bicycle. I use my bicycle, but I will not be getting on a plane until I know I'm safe. So why would anyone else?
Yeah. So we should be realistic about traveling as well.
Yeah.
We will be
we
waiting
need the vaccine. Actually, this magic wand, this crystal ball, what's going to happen? The focus, the money has to go into both a vaccine and a treatment. In fact, one of my clients is a pharmaceutical mogul, and his company is working on a treatment. So not the cure, but a treatment. Now, if we could get a vaccine and a treatment, my goodness me, I'd go on holiday. I'd go and stay in the hotels. I would take my business around the world. But we've got to feel safe. That's
true. So we have to wait a bit till they will find the treatment.
We absolutely do.
Let me translate in Turkish. Evet, diyor ki yani hava yollarındaki durumdan diyor, destinasyon düğünleri nasıl yapılacak diye bir soru geldi. Hava yolları çünkü daha biliyorsunuz her yere uçmuyor. Sarah da diyor ki zaten diyor ben diyor aşı bulunmadan kendim ve bunun bir tedavisi bulunmadan ben zaten arabamdan başka bir şeye binerek bir yerlere zaten gitmek istemem. İnsanlar da istemeyecektir diyor. O yüzden muhakkak aşının ve yani aşı ve tedavi bulunduktan sonra her şey normale dönecek, öyle tahmin ediyorum diyor. So the destination, my next question was about destination weddings. So how we will handle the destination weddings? We will be waiting for the vaccine and the treatment to be found, right?
And I can see that a lot of businesses have tuned into this as well as couples, but it looks like it's predominantly businesses. So I can tell you what I'm doing right now about destination weddings. So we've obviously got clients who are nervous to commit to anything right now. So we're using this time to present to them a range of options depending on when lockdown ends and people feel safe to travel. All kinds of options, from winter in the Swiss Alps to summer in Thailand, everything in between, so that when we come out of lockdown and when we know that couples feel confident to commit to a plan, we've got one ready to go. So that's what we're doing. And we are just this week speaking to some big venues to say, how can we work together on presenting plans, taking an option for them, possibly taking a small deposit, but knowing that it might not be able to happen and what that looks like if it can't happen. Because we all just want business now. Let's be frank. Yeah. We all want and we all need business. So how can we, the events and hospitality industry, work with the hotel and venue? You know, we're all the same thing, hospitality. But how can we all work together to find workable solutions fast? But if we wait, we might not be able to catch up. I mean, I'm rather regretting I've shared that with you now, because I was thinking if I'm way ahead of the game, you know, we can quickly bag all the suppliers and venues that we need for our events next year. But that's what I'm doing with my team. And it's been very interesting. You know, we're working on all our processes. We're working on our presentations. We're working on how we present to clients, so that we, you know, really are ready.
Options to your clients, right? Several options.
So I've just today reached out to a lovely couple that we're working with. They've had to postpone their wedding. They don't know whether they want to postpone it to the same location, because they might want to get married earlier. They don't know. So I've reached out to them today and said, let's jump on a Zoom on Friday. We know we're not in a position to move forward with the planning and decide on a location or even a date, but we want to start every week presenting you some amazing options. And there's, you know, we can all jump on Zoom as a team. We can share our screens and show a presentation, and at least know and have a feeling for what might be workable, so that if suddenly we're in a position to move forward with a spring, we know where we could look and have a plan in place and a venue lined up ready to work with us. So that's what we're doing.
Yes. So a few words in Turkish I will translate. Evet, peki destinasyon düğünlerini nasıl şu anda idare edebiliyorsun? Hani bu kadar bilinmezliklerle dolu bir dönemde dedim. Dedi ki ben şu anda bütün müşterilerime bir sürü opsiyon sunuyorum. Çünkü Sarah genellikle farklı ülkelerde düğünler yapıyor ve bu opsiyonları çalışıyoruz birlikte ki hangisinde hani bir rahatlama bu pandemiyle ilgili olduğu an bu opsiyon üzerine gideceğiz diyor. Dolayısıyla opsiyonlar sunuyor şu anda bütün kendi müşterilerine. Çünkü şu anda önümüzü hiçbirimiz elbette ki göremiyoruz. How are you benefiting your time at home? This is a personal question.
No, I'm really working incredibly hard. So I have an office which I'm speaking to you from, which is at the bottom of my garden. So my house is way back there, and it's actually where I started the business years and years ago. So I'm back in the office here at home. What I am trying to do, and I know it's very challenging for many people now, we're all working from home. And when I first started the business and worked from home, I didn't get it right. So I'm making sure that this time round, I keep strict working hours, and I don't come down to the office at weekends, and I don't come back down here in the evenings. So I effectively come to work, I go back to the house, have lunch with my husband, that kind of thing. But by and large, I'm trying to keep structure to my day and still allow a separation between my work life and my home life, so that home is special.
Yeah.
Because if you start to let it merge, which years ago I did this, and I was so unhappy. And at the moment, it's a bit of a novelty for people to be working from home. But long term, if you work from home, that's the challenge. So that's how I'm organizing things. I would like actually to have a little bit more time off, but like all of us, I've been busy postponing events with my team. But one thing we've been looking at in terms of how we spend our time, so there are causes that are close to my heart. And one of them is an organization called VOW, who are vowing to end child marriage. Oh. And we've been talking, and other people in the industry have been talking. I've had a call with them today, because this is a wonderful opportunity to tell people about this organization and the work that they're doing all around the world, and for us all to get behind it. So that's one of the things I've been doing, looking at the causes that are close to my heart. Nice. I have to confess, I'm drinking more wine than I've ever drunk in my life. And we've decided not to drink on Mondays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And I'm going out bicycling. I'm putting weight on though, because food has become so important now. The meal together, the sharing of a meal, it's so important now. But I'm going to have to address that I'm getting an extra chin, and I don't know that the trousers will do up so well afterwards. And I wasn't skinny before.
Yeah, I will tell in Turkish. Peki kendin zamanını evde çalıştığın, ya evdeki zamanını nasıl değerlendiriyorsun dedim. Bol bol bisiklete biniyorum ama önemlisi iş saatimle evde olmama rağmen, evde çalışmama rağmen iş saatimle ev saatimi birbirinden ayırmaya çalışıyorum diyor. Bu hakikaten çok doğru. Hepimiz şu anda evde çalışmayı öğrenmeye çalışıyoruz ama tabii bol bol şarap içiyorum diyor. Birazcık göbeklendim, birazcık gıdılandım diyor. Ama kendimi bir şekilde tutmaya çalışıyorum diyor. En azından haftanın belli günleri içmemeye çalışıyorum diyor. Kendimize de çok dikkat etmemiz gerekiyor tabii bu dönemde. So what is your advice for the couples who were planning to get married in 2020?
Say that again. What am I?
What is your advice for the couples who were planning to get married in 2020? You know,
Well,
I still have couples. I still have
yeah.
couples at the last quarter. I still have couples.
I think it is devastating. I know it's devastating if you've had to postpone or cancel, and I do appreciate the anxiety that couples are just sitting in. The anxiety: will it be able to happen? And until somebody tells them it's officially cancelled or postponed, there's nothing they could do. I would say keep planning, have a really great plan, and know what your plan B and your plan C is. Like, what's plan B? Having it later this year. What's plan C? Having it next year. Talk to your suppliers about the dates that they're available. We have huge spreadsheets with every supplier. They're new. We never did them before in this way because we use software for planning, but we now have big postponement spreadsheets. Every single supplier and what dates they're still available later this year. Now we're not going to use that, or next year, so that when we need to move a plan, we quickly move it. And we're also asking suppliers, okay, if you're not available, say it's a photographer, who in that photographer's network could they recommend instead? And the other thing we've been doing, especially with people who offer a service that doesn't necessarily have to be taken at a wedding, you know, we've paid a 50% deposit for a photographer. They're no longer available for the postponement date. That photographer still needs to retain some or all of that revenue. So what can they do for the couple instead? So most of them have been saying, great, we'll give them an engagement shoot. So they still earn some money, and it would be done on a date convenient to the photographer. So we're trying to come up with solutions like that that add value. And that's my job really as a wedding planner. You know, as a wedding planner, I always go mad when you read in a magazine, they give all, you know, the bridal magazines, reasons to hire a wedding planner. And number one, they always put to save money. That's not why to hire me. Hire me and my team, or a wedding planner. Hire us to add value to the process. Because you can imagine right now what kind of value you and I are adding to our clients' experience. Right now, we're doing all the calls, we're finding all the solutions, and we bring repeat business to all these suppliers and all these venues, so they're more willing to negotiate with us because we have relationships. So these are all great reasons to hire a wedding planner. I can't remember why I started saying that, but oh yeah, you asked me about couples, what advice I would give them. So keep planning, know your plan B, know your plan C, be ready to activate it immediately. You have to. And pray, because you might be able to have that wedding this year. And my goodness, those weddings that can go ahead this year, what celebrations they will be.
Yeah. So I will tell in few words in Turkish. 2020 yılında evlenmeyi planlayan çiftlere ne tavsiye ediyorsun diyor. Mutlaka A planı, B planı ve C planı yapsınlar. Her zaman ümitlerini kesmesinler. Çünkü son çeyrekte muhakkak düğünler olacak zaten diyor. Ama diyor bir düğün planlamacısıyla çalışmanın güzel yanı da bu. Eğer düğün tarihleri ertelendiyse düğün planlamacısı zaten onlara en güzel opsiyonu sunacaktır diyor. Yeni tarih ve o tarihte çalışacakları çözüm ortaklarıyla ilgili. Mesela bir erteleme olmuş. Fotoğrafçının erteleme tarihine, tuttukları fotoğrafçının erteleme tarihine uygunluğu yokmuş ama ne yapmış? Nişan photoshooting'ini hediye etmiş. People are asking about your
vow.
Wow.
Okay,
Yeah.
vow is a charity. Vow is a charity that is working to end child marriage. I'm not sure what their Instagram is. I think it's just VOW, as in marriage vow. And they are actively working on raising money to offer practical solutions to the problem worldwide of young girls being forcibly married. It's a huge issue. And it's something that it would be good to get not just the industry involved in, but couples. So, for example, charity gift lists are incredibly popular in England, certainly. And so, we're able to say to couples, they say, well, what charities? Well, Vow's a great charity, and it has an association with us. So I'm working with them right now to work out some kind of ambassador program, probably with other industry professionals around the world, so that we can highlight the issue to people in our network, assist them raise money, and that money goes straight into grassroots assistance, into projects to educate. And it's all about education, of course. So yeah, I mean, I'd love to talk a little bit more about that. And I think within a month we'll be able to give more information about what we as an industry are doing to support that cause.
Very nice, very good.
There we are, Blag events. Everybody follow this. Vow for Girls.
Okay.
So the Blagger events have just put it up. Vow for Girls. Amazing organization. Amazing organization.
So this is its Instagram account, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So Wow for Girls diye bir çalışması var. Bir yardım çalışması. Sarah'nın kız çocukların okutulması üzerine. Şu sıralar onunla da çok ilgileniyor. Bununla ilgilenenler Instagram hesabı Wow for Girls'ü takip edebilirler. Aşağıda yazıyor. Güzel bir çalışma. Tabii hepimiz gibi o da bu dönemde yardım kuruluşları içinde çalışıyor. Bu da çok güzel, özellikle kız çocukları için. So lots of questions. Hello, Teddy Manuel is with
Hello,
us.
Teddy.
We were together.
We were.
In Dubai.
He's one of the funnest people I've ever met.
Yeah. We had so
and
fun.
Super
I'm
talented.
happy that we went to Dubai. We were able to go,
Yeah, just before lockdown, we were all in Dubai for a conference, all the wedding professionals. Gosh, it was the first week of March.
Yes, and it's been like a year, so many things have changed after that.
But we will be together again soon. I know we will.
Yeah. And what is your advice to the other planners?
Oh, use this time wisely. If there is government assistance to you, take it, because by taking it, you extend your runway. I wasn't taking it. And this week I'm like, am I crazy? I need to take the assistance, extend the runway, give yourself a bit more rope to keep surviving. It's going to be a tough year, but also cling hold of the fact that people will always want to get married, and let's be there for when they can again.
Oh, okay. Sarah diyor ki yani diğer planlamacılara ne tavsiye ediyorsun? Kendilerini beslemeye devam etsinler. Muhakkak bu günler bitecek ve bizim düğünlerimiz bitmeyecek. Hiç merak etmesinler diyor. Bu diyor geçici bir dönem. Çünkü biz çok özel bir iş yapıyoruz. This is what I also think. We are doing a very special business, Wedding business never ends. And as living in Turkey, we are planners or event planners, wedding planners. We are always focusing and experiencing a kind of a crisis every 3 years, So we are used to live with crisis. And it always happens, weddings always happen, so we shouldn't lose hope, and we should be always hopeful about our business. So I think we are almost coming to the end. The last few words I should take from you. Would you like to add anything?
I would say, we will celebrate again. We're in the business of love, and nobody cancelled or postponed love. It's still alive and well.
Yeah. As long as love survives, weddings will survive, right?
Yes, love will always survive.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay, thank you
thank
so
you.
much for inviting me to be on your feed.
Thank you.
And I
Thank
hope that
you
we will
for.
see one another soon.
Oh, yeah, I hope we will see each other soon. It's always lovely to talk with you. You're so
And you.
inspirational for all of us, Sarah. Yeah. Thank
I'll
you.
take it.
Thank you.
I'll take anything right now. Just a kind word will get
Oh,
me through. Thank you. I
thank
appreciate
you.
that.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Take care. Bye bye,
Bye
my
bye.
friend. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.